You know, it's funny. Got into it with this dork on Twitter, talking about, I've been setting my audience up because I've been saying so much bull. What kind of idiot are you? How stupid are you? The people that attack this channel that have never spent 1 minute watching it, you are the meme. You are the internet social media cliche. It is not me, good friend. It is you. And so it's so ridiculous. Listen to the message we've been giving people. We've been telling you since February or January.
Hello everyone, and today we have a pretty interesting video. We're talking about BitBoy Crypto and the lawsuit he's brought against Atozy. And if you're unaware, they are both YouTubers, where BitBoy Crypto talks about cryptocurrencies and Atozy is a fellow commentary style YouTuber. Now the funniest part to me is this isn't necessarily defamation that he's being sued for, it's more for emotional damage.
Emotional damage!
But let's start by reading what the lawsuit says. Defendant's conduct was directed towards Armstrong and has caused Armstrong severe emotional distress. As a result of defendant's outrageous statements, Armstrong now suffers from severe anxiety that he will be perceived as a felon, fraud, and untrustworthy in business or in general. Armstrong now has recurring bouts of depression about whether defendant's defamatory statements will harm Armstrong financially and socially, and whether he will be able to recover his good reputation and business as a result. Now we're going to get into Atozy's video here in a little bit, but this lawsuit just sounds so frivolous. It's very weirdly hyperbolic. Like, if we're going to be real here, I really doubt that Atozy's video has damaged his reputation more than this lawsuit is going to and already has. But let's continue with reading the document. Contemplating the loss of his livelihood and his good standing in society has left Armstrong in a fragile emotional state with virtually no confidence that things will be better in the future. Plaintiff has sustained damages in excess of $75,000 as a direct result and proximate result of Atozy's tortious conduct?
Tortious.
And tortious just means negligence, but we continue. BitBoy Crypto is an industry-leading source of reliable commentary with respect to investments in cryptocurrency, i.e. virtual currency based on cryptography technology, which serves as an alternative to government-issued fiat currency as a store of value. BitBoy Crypto really seems to be overselling himself in this lawsuit. He himself says not to take his advice because it's not financial advice. So why was he so damaged by Atozy's video?
He's been giving out a bunch of financial advice by framing it as not financial advice, but this is not someone you should be looking up to for any advice whatsoever, especially when they do what we're going to be covering in today's video. He simply cannot be trusted with financial advice because you don't know if he's trying to enrich you or himself.
Now that is a valid criticism. That is not a defamatory statement. There's a lot of shady people in the crypto sphere, so it is important to know who you can trust. And we'll see, can we trust BitBoy Crypto?
So he made a video a while back on a token or a cryptocurrency where the price could only go up.
What if I told you there's a project guaranteed to increase in price? I know you would probably want to jump in, but I'm sure the first thought you would have would be, wait a second, that doesn't sound right. Well, this is where we get into the complicated gray areas of decentralized finance.
What was that, BitBoy? A project that's guaranteed to go up in price? Let's see where this project is today. Wow, would you look at that?
I'm never gonna financially recover from this.
Now I can see how this can give BitBoy emotional damage, because it seems like he led his followers to a rug pull. Now, it was good of him to mention that this sounds suspicious because, boy, it's suspicious. But to start off with, what is a rug pull? A rug pull is a type of scam involving cryptocurrency. The name comes from the expression pulling the rug out. This is how it works. A developer attracts investors to a new cryptocurrency project, then pulls out before the project is built. This leaves the investors with a worthless currency. Now, to cover my own butt, I have to say this is all alleged, And BitBoy himself wouldn't be the one to have made this rug pull, but BitBoy led his followers to the rug pull, and he even mentioned himself this was a gray area.
All right, guys, today we're going to discuss Pamp Network and whether or not it can pump up your portfolio. Get used to that joke. Could this be our next hippo pump? Pamp has been one of the most requested projects to review for my Telegram group and beyond. Luckily, Pamp actually reached out to me about doing a video, so thanks to Pamp for supporting this channel.
So yeah, fair point. He just said that this cryptocurrency is supporting his channel. So he's getting something out of it by promoting this thing that is a scam, allegedly.
That's why you can see the volume is going crazy around the time he released this video. Essentially, BitBoy and other dirtbag influencers brought the scammers to the inexperienced investor, who is, in this case, sadly, the sucker. And BitBoy's audience was left holding the bag.
You definitely don't want to miss this one. I do fair reviews with my team, and I won't promote something that we don't dig deep into, and that's exactly what we did. The way Pamp is designed is great for staking. If you missed out on Tezos or Chainlink, you don't want to miss Pump. Pamp. I'm pumped up to talk about this one.
I love how he accidentally said pump, because that's what they call it, pumping up the currency.
Pamp. Pamp Network's token contract rewards hodlers when the price increases and penalizes sellers when it doesn't. When the token price appreciates, token holders receive staking rewards based on numerous factors, including the percentage the price increased, how long they've been holding Pamp for, and how many tokens they hold. What's more is the rewards are distributed on a daily basis, so this coin is literally a pump network. See, there's a method to my madness, and you have to just trust me when we find these coins.
You have to just trust BitBoy Crypto. You just have to put your trust in him for financial advice. But he says he's not a financial advisor. And the part where it says people who sell are penalized?
It rewards hodlers when the price increases and penalizes sellers when it doesn't.
Now, I'm not an expert on crypto by any means, but something about that screams scummy to me. They are penalized for selling?
You always say do your own research and don't trust anybody in crypto.
Fair enough, voices in my head. Fair enough. But let this be an exception, but of course, do your own research on Pamp. After all, I'm not a financial advisor.
I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm making an 11-minute video on why you should buy this complete scam.
BitBoy Crypto is an industry-leading source of reliable commentary with respect to investments in cryptocurrency.
Now, Atozy took the words right out of my mouth. If you're not a financial advisor, why are you shilling this so hard? Why are you pushing this so hard? Like, don't miss out, guys. This coin is going to be like the next big thing. And just by going over Atozy's video, from what I can see, he's just pointing out your shady little business practices, which is completely valid, and people should do that more. And once again, this is the perfect example of the Streisand effect. Just like Moist Critical said in his little review of you, no one in the crypto sphere probably even seen Atozy's video or knew about it. Well, now you've brought this huge spotlight on it.
This one, I've got a 5-digit bag of, much more than I was paid to do this video. So take that for what it's worth. I'm fully invested in this one.
And what is this tweet supposed to mean? We are about to change the YouTube game forever. Beware. Is that supposed to be fear tactic towards Atozy or towards anyone who would dare say anything against you? BitBoy's tweets did rub me the wrong way, but this was Atozy's Twitter response to the lawsuit. He put up a GoFundMe and says he's not backing down. He's going to defend himself because he believes in what he said. At the very end of the thread, he posts a video talking about the lawsuit and everything leading up to the lawsuit, which to me sounds a bit suspicious.
Clearly, I don't want to be sued, so I decided to just ignore the cease and desist because it was outrageous, but I didn't want to talk about BitBoy Crypto for a little while. And almost 8 months went by until I came home about 10 p.m. with a car parked outside of my house. Me and my girlfriend got out of the vehicle to start unloading groceries when suddenly this man started approaching us on my driveway. He then yelled if I was Arling, but he pronounced it wrong, so I assumed I was automatically a stranger, so I replied, "I can't help you." He then said, "Take these papers or I'm coming back with the sheriff." So then I realized this is probably from BitBoy BitBoy Crypto again, so I took the papers. So this time it was a lawsuit draft. So it still hadn't been filed at the time, which confused me again. But then, even more confusing, 3 days later, I received a package in the mail, and I assumed this was the lawsuit. Instead, it was another lawsuit draft from BitBoy.
This to me comes off as a fear tactic. He sends multiple cease and desists, and then multiple drafts to this lawsuit until he finally sends him the real lawsuit. Why else would you do this? Why else would you make a post saying you're changing the YouTube game forever? Because more than likely, you are trying to silence this criticism against you.
So I couldn't really tell if he was trying to scare me or not, because it seemed like a lot of the other creators who covered him promoted projects that turned out to be scams. Suddenly their videos were gone. BitBoy also seems to delete these videos when the projects lose money, it seems. Until the other night, because I was contacted by a bunch of journalists asking for a comment on a lawsuit that was officially filed with my name in it. Then tonight, I had this visitor at my door. How you doing today?
Good. Are you Erling?
Full name?
Big Shoal?
Yeah. Who are you delivering for?
I just got some stuff for you.
Oh, what is it?
I don't know. It's a box.
I don't need it.
Well, you've been served, Erling.
What are you doing? So yeah, I have officially been sued. This is horrifying.
As we've seen from Atozy's video, everything that BitBoy did when it came to Pamp seemed really shady. He was sponsored by them. Then Atozy gave his own opinion, called him a dirtbag influencer. Well, he kinda does come out that way, doesn't he?
They say I sustained damage in excess of $75,000. I want everybody to know, first and foremost, this is never about money. This is not about money. About 4 months after we did the video, the project rug pulled. Now, when we researched the project, my research team researched it. That's what a research team does, like a tweet on Twitter. What happened is the project pulled the smart contract that was audited that we had seen. And so we saw the smart contract. It was fine, it was locked up, but they changed the smart contract. So the point is that the project after the video was not the same as the project that we researched. It was an anonymous team. You can't hold people accountable when they're anonymous. And you guys know today, we don't do any sponsoring. We are trying to pay bills at certain points by doing those videos. It's a big revenue stream.
From what you say, it sounds like you were desperate for money. So you basically did any sponsorship you could. You did not do your due diligence. You say your research team did, but you trusted an anonymous creator of this cryptocurrency.
He implies that I knowingly did all this, that I knowingly tried to scam my fans. Once again, we were lied to. We were tricked. We didn't hide from it. And we basically put out, he said that we never addressed it. We never addressed it. The very next day, I made a video with a full statement on the situation, why this is bad, why we were sorry. I went and watched it. I didn't technically say I was sorry, but it was basically an apology.
You're really playing the victim card hard here. You're the one that promoted this rug pull. Whether or not you knew it was a rug pull at the time, you are still responsible for everything people lost. Your followers lost money because of your lack of due diligence, and maybe you were just over trusting. But people who are anonymous should not be trusted because obviously, like you said, they can't be held accountable.
But what? You have to understand, like I said, this was not supposed to be something that was out there for everybody. The whole intention was just trying to get him to remove the video, or at least the parts of the video that were incorrect. So yes, that's why. That was always the goal. We weren't trying to break him financially. All we were trying to do is get things out there that are true, and things that are not true, remove them. And I don't understand why anyone would push back against that.
Now, what would be hard to understand? Some person is threatening you legally for your own opinions on the things that you saw. How it seems to me, and probably many other people, is that you screwed up and now you don't want people to know about it. That's why you were trying to use fear tactics up until this point. Well, now, the Streisand effect. People know you screwed up and you're not a reliable source like your lawsuit says you are, because, well, you allowed your fans to be scammed.
Okay. Where we're at is, at this point, it has become public. It's become an absolute debacle. We know Kobe gave him $100,000, and hopefully that money will go to good use. But yeah, so we are going to drop lawsuit, 100%. And I'm sorry this became public.
And after all these months of harassment, he decides to drop the lawsuit because it went public. And combining that with everything I've said today, the rug pull, his ideas about how it's not his fault, and the multiple cease and desists, the multiple drafts before he finally filed an official lawsuit, these were just all veiled threats and feared tactics for Atozy would take his video down because he didn't want people to know that he screwed up so badly. Or he just didn't want people to remember this screw up, so he tried to shove it as far down as he could. But he kind of pulled in Ace Family Austin McBroom on them and said, "Whoops guys, you got scammed."
Kind of like hurt us in a way because in reality, like, you guys got scammed.
Armstrong is one of the most watched crypto influencers on YouTube. His channel BitBoy Crypto has amassed more than 1.5 million. For years, Armstrong has said he accepted payments from crypto companies to tout their new products for his vast audience of subscribers. That's a practice he says he now regrets because it led to some painful losses for his own viewers. So Armstrong announced his partnership with a cryptocurrency called Distex, calling it his most trusted coin. He said the whole idea of Distex was to stop scams in crypto, but Armstrong said in the end the project itself ended up being a scam. The project team rug pulled, meaning they worked to increase the market cap, then disappeared, leaving investors holding the bag. Armstrong says he now feels responsible for the losses suffered by the followers. "I mean, of course I do," he said. "I hate it when we talk about stuff that didn't do well." Atozy went really hard in saying that it was an outright scam. But if you listen from BitBoy, it is so unethical that this man will take thousands of dollars to promote these tokens and coins. And they obviously do rug pulls. There needs to be better accountability if you're running channels regarding on giving, commentary, all right, on these cryptocurrency investment.
That's not a good look on anyone. And he said he didn't want it to go public. He didn't want people to know that this lawsuit existed. He didn't want people to know that he was suing Atozy over this. Although we still have to wait and see if he actually does pull this lawsuit or if he takes it to court like he was initially planning. He did say he was gonna pull it, but you never know, he could change his mind. The whole thing just seems so shady and underhanded. Like, if he was so certain he was right, why would he suddenly pull the lawsuit once it went public? Why would he be afraid if he was in the right? The best defense against defamation is the truth, which maybe means Atozy was in the right. But if you do take anything from this, please do not take financial advice from people online, especially when it comes to cryptocurrency because of how unregulated it is. Or at least how unregulated it's been up to this point. Hopefully things will get better, but please let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will see you all next time. Bye!